So these allegations against Trump go from, let me see, a list of accusations made against 47 between 1980s and 2013, all of which he's denied. A former model has accused Donald Trump of groping and sexually touching her in 1993 in what she believed was a twisted game between him and Jeffrey Epstein, who she claims introduced them. Stacey Williams, who was a model in the 1990s, said she first met Trump in 1992 after being introduced by Epstein. Williams said that while a walk with Epstein in early 1993, he suggested that they stop by Trump Tower. Soon after they arrived, she alleges, Trump pulled her towards him and started groping her, putting his hands all over my breasts, waist, and buttocks. Williams said she froze and that she believed she saw the two men smiling at each other. A Trump spokesperson has denied the allegations, calling them politically motivated and unequivocally false. The allegation of groping and unwanted sexual touching follows a well-documented pattern of behavior by Trump. There is a list of many of the allegations made against the former president. Trump has denied all claims. 2013, Cassandra Searles. Age 24, location Miss USA 2013 pageant. She said, in quotes, "He probably doesn't want me telling the story about that time he continually grabbed my ass and invited me to his hotel room." The former Miss Washington, 2013, alleged in a comment on Facebook that Trump repeatedly grabbed her buttocks and invited her to his hotel room. That is, the source is Facebook via Yahoo News. 2007, Summer Zervos. Summer Zervos, age early 30s, location Trump Tower in a hotel in Los Angeles. In quotes, "He then grabbed my shoulder and began kissing me, again very aggressively, and placed his hand on my breast." The former contestant on The Apprentice has accused Trump of groping and kissing her on 2 occasions. She settled a defamation suit against him without compensation in 2021. Source, Gloria Allred Press Event. 2006, Nini Leksonen, age 20, location outside the Ed Sullivan Theater before an appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman. She said in quotes, "Trump stood right next to me and suddenly he squeezed my butt." The former Miss Finland alleges Trump grabbed her buttocks during a photo shoot before an appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman. She said, "Somebody told me that Trump liked me because I looked like Melania when she was younger. It left me disgusted." The source, Finnish newspaper Ilta Sanomat. 2006, Jessica Drake, age 32, location a golf tournament in Lake Tahoe. She said, "When we entered the room, he grabbed each of us tightly in a hug and kissed each of us on the lips without asking for permission." Drake alleges Trump forcibly kissed her and 2 female friends on the lips, and when rebuffed, pursued her asking, "How much? How much?" Source, Gloria Allred Press Event. You know, isn't it like a thing where, like what he said himself, his own words, "I can't help it. I just start kissing them. I can't control it. I might start kissing her," putting Tic Tacs in his mouth. "I can't control it. I just kiss him. Grab him. I just grab him. Grab him by the pussy. You know, when you're famous, I let you do it." 2006. Wow, he was busy in 2006. Samantha Hovey, age 20, location Miss USA 2006 pageant. She says he would step in front of each girl and look you over from head to toe like we were just meat. We were sexual objects, that we were not people. The former Miss North Carolina alleges Trump would barge into the pageant dressing room and inspect the women like meat. Source CNN. 2005, Rachel Crooks, age 22, location outside the elevator in Trump Tower. She said, "He just kissed me directly on the mouth." Crooks, then a receptionist at real estate from Bayrock Group, whose offices are in Trump Tower, said she introduced herself to him outside the building's elevator one morning. "And then he began kissing her cheeks and then kissed me directly on the mouth," she said. "It was so inappropriate. I was so upset that he thought I was so insignificant that he could just do that," said Crooks. Source, New York Times. 2005, Natasha Stoyanov. She's a photographer. Age 40, location a closed-door room in Mar-a-Lago. She said, "I turned around and within seconds he was pushing me against the wall and forcing his tongue down my throat." Stoyanov alleges Trump forcibly kissed her. As a People magazine reporter, Stoyanov said she was sent to Mar-a-Lago to interview Trump for a story about his first wedding anniversary with Melania, where he forced himself on her. We walked into that room alone, and Trump shut the door behind us. I turned around, and within seconds, he was pushing me against the wall and forcing his tongue down my throat, wrote Stoyanov. Source, People magazine. 2005, Jennifer Murphy, age 26, outside an elevator after an interview. I was thinking, oh God, he's going to hug me. But when he pulled my face in and gave me a smooch, I was like, okay. Former contestant on The Apprentice alleges Trump forcibly kissed her after a job interview. Source, Grazia Magazine. 2003, Melinda McGilvery, 23, location at Mar-a-Lago during a concert by Ray Charles. She said, all of a sudden I felt a grab, a little nudge. I think it's Ken's camera bag. That was my first instinct. I turned around and there's Donald. He sort of looked away quickly. I turned back, facing Ray Charles, and I'm stunned. McGilvery alleges Trump grabbed her buttocks in a pavilion behind the main house in the middle of a group of people. Ken Davidoff, who was Mar-a-Lago's official photographer, said he remembered McGilvery telling him on the night, she just grabbed my ass. Source, Palm Beach Post. Tasha Dixon. Yeah, I know, GP. So what? He grabbed her butt. So what? You like it when people just come up and stick their finger in your ass? You like that? I bet you wouldn't. No, some of you might. Tasha Dixon. Location, backstage at the 2001 Miss USA pageant. Why do you think he owned all these fucking pageants? For access. Access is what these peddles like. Age 19. Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half naked changing into our bikinis. The former Miss Arizona alleges that Trump entered dressing rooms while her fellow contestants were half naked. Source, CBS News. Early 2000s, Karen Johnson. Age, unknown. Location, Mar-a-Lago. I was grabbed and pulled behind a tapestry, and it was him. I'm a tall girl, and I had 6-inch heels on, and I still remember looking up at him. And he's strong, and he just kissed me. I was so scared because of who he was. The former dancer has claimed she was grabbed by Trump during a New Year's Eve party at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida in the early 2000s, when he allegedly groped and forcibly kissed her. Johnson, in an interview for a 2019 book, alleged the assault happened just out of sight from the other guests, including her husband, and that, just like his Access Hollywood tape, boasts that his fame allowed him to get away with grabbing women by the pussy without consent. He did the same to her. 2000, Bridget Sullivan, age 19, location, backstage at the 2000 Miss USA pageant. The time he walked in through the dressing rooms was really shocking. We were all naked. The former Miss New Hampshire alleges Trump walked into the dressing room unannounced while contestants were naked. Source, BuzzFeed, 1998, Karen, Virginia, age 27, location, waiting for a car after the U.S. Open in New York. And then his hand touched the side of my right, the right side of my breast. I was in shock. Virginia alleges that he grabbed her arm and fondled her breasts. Source, Gloria Allred Press Event. 1997, Amy Doris. I'm going to run out of time here. 24, location, U.S. Open. He just shoved his tongue down my throat, and I was pushing him off. And then that's when his grip became tighter, and his hands were very gropey, and all over my butt, my breasts, everything. I was in his grip. I couldn't get out of it. The former model accused Trump of sexually assaulting her at the U.S. Open tennis tournament, accosting her outside the bathroom in his VIP box at the event in New York on September 5, 1997. She spoke to The Guardian in 2020 from her home in Florida and provided evidence to support her account, including corroborators, her ticket to the U.S. Open, and photos of her sitting next to Trump at the Open. He was 51 at the time and married to his second wife, Marla Maples. Source, The Guardian. 1997, Kathy Heller. How many more are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't have enough time for all these. Ivana Trump, 2, in a divorce deposition, used rape to describe the incident that transpired between them. Wow. He raped his own wife. And then Kristen Anderson, early 1990s. He touched my vagina through my underwear. Jessica Leeds, 1980s. He was like an octopus. His hands were everywhere. That was the one that he assaulted on the fucking plane. This is who these are. This is their culture. This is the culture of these entitled, arrogant, unattractive, unfuckable men like him. Look at that. He's an ugly guy. His pictures when he was younger are a little bit better, but he's an ugly, ugly man.